They say that your first 100K is the hardest, and that after that, compound interest really starts to take off. And then in a few years, you'll be making more of the interest and investment returns than you're even contributing to your accounts. And I definitely think that is true. I've been tracking every penny I've made and spent for over 3 years. I've been doing it since before I even graduated. And I use like a spreadsheet to help me track all my finances and make sure that I'm working towards my goals. It also helps me notice if I'm spending in bad areas, and it's just a great motivator in general. I want to share some general guidelines and actions that you can start making today to help you with your own personal finances. So first things first, you should definitely start tracking your spending. So that means opening up a spreadsheet, opening up your bank statements, and just writing down every single thing that you've spent money on for the last like 30 to 60 days. And then for each item, you should consider if it was necessary or discretionary spending. And this will immediately make you a lot more cognizant about your spending and which things you could potentially cut off. And then you should start off by just cutting out the bad spending that you don't want to be making, and then you can think about where that money is going to go to next. So now that you know where your money is going, you need to make sure that you're putting as much of that into savings and investments. So personally, I use Trading 212, but you can find other ISAs. But essentially, just open up an investment account and just start throwing money into an index fund. I wouldn't play around with like random stocks right now. Just focus on an index fund. I personally like VUSA, and don't even think about it. Just start putting money in there regularly, and it will add up over time. You can average into an index fund, maybe put like 10 to 20 pounds a week or a month into an index fund. But you can also just do a lump sum payment and just not touch it. The key thing here is to not touch the money once you've put it into the investments. Just forget about it. If you can, just forget your password, whatever it takes so that you don't touch that money. Do not sell, just hold in the investment account. So I'll give you an example. The main index fund that I invest in, VUSA, in the last 3 years, it's gone up almost 40%. That means if I had 100K in there, it would now be worth 140K. And that's 13K a year without you even contributing any more money, right? You should still be contributing money, but even if you didn't, you would have made 40K just from having the money set there. Whereas if you pick like random stocks, sure, you could have made more, but it's very likely you could have also lost a lot more money too. In my personal experience, because I do invest in index funds, but also I do pick a few stocks here and there, like for stocks that I actually like. In general, though, I've looked at my returns over time because I do track all of this, and I've found that honestly, if I just put everything into an index fund and forgot about it and didn't sell, I would have actually just ended up making more money. I won't go into like too much about my investment strategies here, but if people are interested, I'm happy to share what I do. The next big thing to consider is your income, right? To invest, you need some money coming in, right? And increasing the amount of money coming in is actually the biggest method for increasing your wealth over time. For some people, this might mean getting a new job, which just pays more money, or getting a raise at their current job. It's really worth job hopping, especially early on in your career, to make sure you can maximize your income, because whatever income you can secure early on is going to be sort of the income that you build off for your future. And like whatever next job you get should be paying you more than your previous job. And same goes for raises, right? Like compound interest applies for your salary as well. And when your income does increase, you need to make sure you don't fall for lifestyle creep, right? Don't start splashing out money on a new car, a new phone, new PC, or just whatever random thing that you see, right? Save now, and your future self really will be thankful for it. And I'm not talking about like in 30 years' time when you retire or whatever. Like even in just like 3 to 5 years, you'll be really happy that you saved that money, and it will actually let you end up buying an even better car, even better phone, and an even better PC if you just wait a little bit longer. I think that delayed gratification is something that not everyone's happy to wait for, but personally, I really enjoy it. Although my investments and savings really started to grow after I actually started my full-time job, I'd already saved hundreds of thousands before I even graduated. And here are a few of the things that really helped me do that. First of all, I had an internship while I was at university, so that paid me some money. That was really great, and I saved pretty much all of it. In general, I was just saving a lot of money. I didn't waste it or spend it on random things. To be fair, most of my time at university was during COVID, so there wasn't really things like going to go out for. But I definitely did spend money on like ordering a lot of food. But other than that, I was just investing a lot of money. And I got really lucky with that because during COVID, stocks were really down and you could buy them, and then the stock market was really going crazy at the time. So it was quite easy to make money there. And so I just definitely got really lucky with that. I also worked on a few paid side projects. So I knew some people who needed help with certain projects and websites and so on. And so I helped develop them for them, and they paid me for it. And that helped me earn a couple thousand as well. I was also a teaching assistant at my university, so I helped with doing online lessons, and I also helped with things like adding subtitles to some of the lectures for the teachers that their pronunciation wasn't really good. So that was one of the other things that I did. I also just did tutoring on the side as well, so that helped me earn some more money. Basically, my point here is that you might have a job, or you might not even have a job, but there's some other things you can do on the side to help you earn a bit more income. there's a lot of general finance tips out there, and I suggest you like look into those. Like there's a lot of like TikTok pages and YouTube channels and so on to like help you learn about finances. I find on Reddit there's a personal finance subreddit that's really good as well, so definitely like check those things out. But some of the general tips that I would have would be to first of all pay yourself first. So that means investing as soon as you get your paycheck. Another one is to build a small emergency fund. So like depending on your situation, that might be like 1 to maybe 6 months of living expenses. Personally, mine is pretty small. Like I don't even think it's a month of living expenses, but I do think it's a good idea to have some cash just sitting there in case you need it. Another thing is to avoid any and all debts like credit cards. Like if you can't pay off your credit card, do not get one. If you can't afford it now, you can't afford it at all. So just don't buy things like that. Another major thing is to make sure you don't like have FOMO and end up investing and chasing trends, like investing in meme stocks or crypto. Like this will fuck you over. I've seen way too many people like fall for this, where they end up making a lot of money and then losing it all. You won't be any different. You will end up losing money on this. Just don't bother. Just go for something safe and plan for the long term. And finally, start early. Like these small amounts that you might invest now, they will compound over time, and the habits that you build up now will stick with you, and they'll help you make a lot of wealth in the future. Like I said, like this isn't overnight. Like I've been updating my spreadsheet and tracking my finances on the first of every month for over 3 years, and I think it's something that's just a very fun thing to do. It's something that everyone should try. I'm actually even working on a project, like a little app to make this easier to do. So if you're interested, definitely join the localhost Discord to see my progress and share your projects as well.